Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Adobe scripting tutorial. This tutorial is going to be going over the best and most useful ExtendScript shortcuts. So if you're an ExtendScript user, this video is going to show you some shortcuts that will really improve your life and make scripting a lot easier. In the future, I'll probably make one of these for Visual Studio Code if you guys request it as well. But basically we're just going to be going over these key shortcuts. I'm going to show you each one, what it does, and how you can practically use it in your projects. Before we get started, I do want to remind you down below, make sure you hit subscribe and that bell icon and all notifications next to it to get notified of when all videos come out on this channel. And down in the description you can check out our GitHub or Instagram and follow us on either of those for updates on code as well as other cool things. Make sure you come and join the Discord server and get help with scripting, extensions, plugins, expressions, submit tutorial ideas like we're doing today. Today's tutorial is from Adobe Magi. Thank you for this great idea. I'd never even thought of it. So if you want to get your questions answered or submit tutorial ideas and see them turned into videos eventually, come and join the Discord server. And lastly, you can help support the channel by becoming a YouTube channel member as a member, supporter, premium supporter, or VIP. And each of these is going to give you different perks like a weekly private VIP stream where we just hang out and answer questions. You can get code shoutouts as well as receive videos and code a week in advance. You can join in for a monthly Q&A live stream for all of our $5 supporters. Or if you're a member, you can get member status in the Discord and a weekly tutorial poll, which is more actual tutorials I'm guaranteed to make. So let's go ahead and get started by just starting off with the first shortcut here, Control D or Command D on a Mac. Basically, if you have a Mac, for any of these, replace Control with Command. And duplicate is quite simple. It's going to simply duplicate whatever line you have. So if I move to the end of this maybe array definition here, I wanted to create a second array, I can make some space or just hit Control D, and you can see that's going to duplicate the line as many times as I hit it. And what you can even do is duplicate multiple lines. The formatting might get kind of messed up, but you have the ability essentially to do this. And this is great for when you have massive amounts of things that need to be changed, or if you need to make a whole bunch of instances of a variable. Like in this case, we have a conflicts array. We could maybe say letters array, words array, and just go through and duplicate it as many times as you need very quickly, change the variable names, and then move on. So this is basically just a quick way to duplicate any of your code, and it comes in handy just in certain cases when you're making a UI really quick, and as you get more advanced in scripting, you'll see more and more use cases of this. The next shortcut is the ability to search and find things, which when you have a lot of code comes extremely in handy. So if you hit Control F, or Command F on a Mac, this should bring up the Find and Replace menu. If it's closed and you hit it, it should pop up just like that. And this will allow us to find, replace, and specify where we want to search for things inside of our JavaScript. So let's say I have these global variables here and I want to see where my global folder is defined. I can simply hit Control C to copy and then Control F to pop into the Find window and paste it in here. Then we have the option to replace it, but you don't have to, of course. And when you choose where to search, you can search inside of your entire current text document. You can select some text and only search within that selection. Or if you have multiple open documents or the entire engine, you can search inside of there as well. For example, if you have multiple JSX libraries or other imported things. For most purposes, you want to use current document. Sometimes you want to use current selection if you've got a lot of code. But what you can do is simply hit Find and start searching for wherever it's defined. In this case, we only found one instance. So maybe we choose a different variable and we're able to then just hit enter and continue to find each instance of it. If you wanted to actually replace one of these instances or replace all of them, you can hit replace to replace the current one that's highlighted. So if I just hit replace, you can see it's going to change it to text document, which I have my replace text set to. And if you wanted to replace everything, you can hit replace all, and this will let you know that this many massive changes were made, and this can sometimes be something you want if you've made a mistake globally inside of your script, or again, you can select a specific selection and replace all of those. One other thing is you can also match for the specific case. If you don't match for the case, it will essentially crush everything down into a lower or uppercase and be able to compare them this way. But if you say match case and you had a different camel casing or something, you would be unable to find it in this particular case. So you can also search to match the case. You can match an entire word or match a regular expression if you're into regex. The next shortcut is how to comment things out, which is obviously very important sometimes when you want to quickly debug or get rid of large amounts of text. Usually you can just go up to Edit and click on Comment or Uncomment, or just go in and add in your typical JavaScript comment lines. But the easier way is with a bit of a bizarre shortcut, which is you select the stuff you want to comment, and you hit Control-Shift or Command-Shift-K. And this will add sort of custom ExtendScript commenting. The reason it adds this little tilde squiggly line is so that it knows if we hit it again, it can undo it quite easily. Because if we were to just comment this with double slashes and then we tried to uncomment it, it's actually not going to do it very well. So if I just fill this in here and hit uncomment, it's going to add an additional comment on top. So these little tildes that ExtendScript adds to your comments, they basically let it know that this is an ExtendScript comment and will allow you to easily comment and uncomment it. The next thing is to do word wrap. This is just basically a visual thing inside of scripting. If you're starting to run out of room, as you can see here, I have an inline JSON definition, which is extremely long and over there, and it makes it a little bit harder to see when I'm, say, like on a half screen basis. All we have to do is hit Control-Shift or Command-Shift-W, and this will wrap the text from going just horizontally that we can't see it, and it will make sure it's all visible within our actual view here. So without word wrap, everything you can basically scroll horizontally, and that can be a little bit annoying because as you can see we can't quite see all the way over here. We have to do this, and that's annoying. So if you want to avoid that, hit word wrap, and this will allow you to, yes, it'll make it sometimes stack down visually, but it will allow you to see every bit of text within your viewing window. The next shortcut is how to export JSX bin files with a shortcut. Instead of going to File, Export as Binary, which is a couple of clicks, you can save some time by hitting Control-Shift-E or Command-Shift-E. And this will take you to the File menu where you can then export your JSX bin or export it as a JSX, and that will put a JSX file with the JSX bin code in it. That's just a quick thing I use quite a bit. When I'm just running through, say I need to update a very small change in an extension or a script, I'll just go in here, make the changes, and then boom, ready to export. The next shortcut is how to load up the JavaScript console if it's not already. This is useful because a lot of the times you don't want to have pop-ups, alerts basically to display messages to help you debug, because if you've got a lot of processes going on, it's just going to pop up, and it makes it a little bit harder to debug. So you may want to use things like write lines, where essentially you're writing everything to the console. But if the console is not visible, you're not going to see any of that information being displayed. So the shortcut you can use is Control or Command Alt J. And what this will do is simply load up the JavaScript console window. So if you want to launch the JavaScript console window or close it, hit Control or Command Alt J. And obviously that J is for JavaScript console. So this will allow you to just basically pop it up and down and allow you to see any of the messages that you've written to that console. And lastly, how can you run your script easily? Instead of having to go up here and press the play button, if you're in the middle of a workflow and working really smoothly, all you have to do is hit F5, and this will launch the script using whatever you have it connected to. And there's no major advantage to this, but when you are in sort of a flow state and programming quite well, it's just easier instead of having to go up here and navigate to this. Clicking a relatively small button, it's easier just to hit F5 and my script is ready to go. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Those are the most useful shortcuts for inside of ExtendScript to help improve your life and make scripting a lot easier. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button, hit subscribe down below and the bell icon next to it to be notified of new videos coming out twice weekly on the channel. And down in the description you can follow us on GitHub and Instagram to get updates on code when videos go live and behind the scenes stuff. And of course, join the Discord server and get help with scripting, extensions, plugins, expressions, answer people's questions or ask your own, or even submit tutorial ideas and get them made into videos like this one. And if you want to help support the channel on YouTube and get cool perks, become a VIP, premium supporter, or member and get cool perks as well as member status in our Discord. Thanks again for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.